One of these days, it would be nice if I had a piece of music that cut out at the same time the timer cut out. But given that I don't know what timer I'm going to use, that's not going to happen. Hello there. My name is Anthony Barocas. I am here for YOLO Live, and today is Tech Talk Wednesdays. They like to call this Ask Anthony Anything because it is a question and answer show talking all things YoloBox, Instream, YoloCast, and I have things here. But today's special topic is specifically the business of streaming. Let's get rid of that background right there. A little bit about myself. I am an independent producer in Frisco, Texas, which is just north of Dallas, which is in Texas, the central part of the United States. And it is 12 noon here, but I know this has a worldwide audience from Hawaii. I'm surprised I haven't seen Hawaii on today. Hawaii, we've had Alaska on, we've had the Pacific Northwest, all across the United States, East Coast, Germany, France, Italy, India, South Africa. We got two South Africa on today, so that's actually really cool. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about business. So before we get started, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my business. Like I said, I'm an independent producer. My company is called Aiba Communications. And when I moved to Frisco, I was doing work for freelance, work for whatever company might need some video production. And I would network in the local business groups, business communities, and things like that. And I realized that my company, Aiba Communications, that's my logo, doesn't necessarily tell anyone anything. And a lot of the companies that I would work for didn't have studio space, so they would ask me, well, where can we do some tutorials? Where can we film? Where can we film? And so I looked around for the opportunity to build a new space, a sound stage in Frisco, and we called that Frisco Studios, that I built with the owner of a local magazine here. They were going to use it for still photography. We worked together. We made it work for video. So my company also became Frisco Studios. And then a lot of companies who came to Frisco Studios would look at this studio space and say, this is fantastic, all these cameras and lights and everything. Can you come to our office and film? Yes, but because Frisco Studios had two anchoring, it was in Frisco and it was a studio, they did not understand that I could take this stuff and go to another town and film there, in Plano, in Garland, in Dallas. So the word Frisco became a limiting factor. So I took Frisco Studios and I created Stream for Us, which is just the same technology and the same everything, just in a different location without the word Frisco. So if it seems a little confusing what my company is, it's because it's different branding for different markets. And I also write for Streaming Media Magazine. Let's go to the overhead here. I held this one up before and the entire cover is green. So when I hold this up, most of it vanishes because I'm doing green screen. I write for Streaming Media Magazine. This is a cover article I did on the 3 tiers of virtual event production, local kind of streaming, and then fully hybrid. And then this is another issue. And I have, hey, look, there's a review of the YoloBox by me. And I have a regular column in here called The Producer's View. So if you have questions about business and being a streaming video producer, I recommend going to streamingmedia.com and signing up for the e-newsletters. They're free. Actually, so is the physical magazine. They actually still produce a physical magazine. So that is an introduction to me. Let us quickly get to everyone else. I appreciate you all being here. Let us start from the top. Samuel Robinson says, good day to you. MK Touch Media says, watching live from South Africa. Grunk, not going to try the last name. Hello from Dubrovnik, Croatia. Amp Life with Chris says, hello from South Africa, number 2. 2 South Africas. That's really cool. And I love knowing where everybody's viewing from. I think it's just amazing that, we can all produce content, put it out there on the web, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, or whatever your, content delivery network is, and immediately have a worldwide audience. You are your own TV station. And also, don't limit it to just talking with me. Talk with each other in the comments, because I really want today's show to be about sharing and talking to each other, because we have the ability, like the Facebook group is a lot about talking about the YoloBox, but let's talk business. And I should mention, there is a great Facebook group called the Business of Production. On Facebook. Again, that's called the Business of Production. I'm in that group. There's not a whole lot of activity in there, but it's for people who own businesses and want to talk business questions, pricing questions, how to hire people questions, how to get new clients questions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And Pete Breen in Dallas, Texas, which is not too far from me, says, no business yet, streaming. And that's always, it's the chicken and egg thing. It's the chicken and egg. I bought a YoloBox. I want to do streaming, but I don't have any business yet. Or do you go and get the business before you have the hardware? It's a chicken and egg thing. And the one thing I always find useful to get yourself started is find a local community organization who could benefit. Just have conversations. Hey, I do live streaming. Have you guys ever thought of just doing a little talk show or a little advice? It's like if it's a local community help group. Hey, we can do a series of 5 videos where you just offer tips and tricks, and we have somebody interview you. Hey, that's multi-camera, live switched streaming. Look at that. Plus, as a consultant, you get to help them usually build a YouTube page and put content out there. If you can start on your page, but then you can help them build their YouTube page. You record it, and then they can upload it. They get viewers, and all of this stuff. It's a snowball, and snowballs don't start really big. They all start small, and you always have to start small. Chris Carson is a longtime streaming producer all over the place. He's tuning in from Ohio. And one question that I always love to ask is, how did you get involved in streaming? For me, streaming started as multi-camera live switch to tape. I started when we would record to tape, and we would produce content for cooking series for the public broadcasting in America and for commercial broadcast. So multi-camera live switch. Doesn't matter if it's to tape or to broadcast or to streaming, it's the same process, in terms of things. Samuel Robinson says, I'm in Miami. I help restaurants as a business advisor to help them increase customers. That is a fantastic way to get started with restaurants. Also, with local bands, because, sometimes restaurants on the weekends like to bring bands in. Hey, do live streaming from the restaurant of the band. You're helping the band, you're helping the restaurant, and you're building your business. It's a win-win-win at that point. Dion Welch says, would love to get details on YoloBox Pro network bonding versus Teradek Video. We'll be streaming from only Cell Networks. I guess that's CEL, Cell Networks in Charleston, South Carolina. And give me a second. I'm going to walk away. For those who do not know, let me spin this around. This is a Pelican case that hurts your fingers if you don't open it right. What he's asking about is, let me find places to put things, is the Teradek Video, which is this little device. And what this device does is, this device has 2 cellular modems on either side, 2 Wi-Fi antennas, and Ethernet. And this device from Teradek will use this cellular modem, Wi-Fi connection, and Ethernet. We'll use all 4 connections, bond them together, put your video, because this one has an HDMI input and an SDI input, both. And it will take this and push it to Teradek Core, which is their receiving computer, put all the packets back in order, and then send that out to whatever destinations you want. This is one of the two big bonding solutions out there: Teradek and VidiU. VidiU from Teradek and LiveU, sorry, from LiveU. And those are the two big ones. However, there's also a third one that I happen to have right here. This is a KiloView P2 bonding encoder. As you can see right here, SIM card 1, SIM card 2. On this one takes HDMI in, and this one takes two adapters here. So you can go to Ethernet, you can go to a modem, like a little SIM card on a stick modem type of thing. And one of these is your cellular antenna. The other one is a Wi-Fi antenna. This is another bonding encoder. And now YoloLive has put bonding in the YoloBox Pro. And that bonding will bond the cellular and the Wi-Fi, which if you have a cell phone, you can have cellular network 1 in your YoloBox and cellular network 2, a different network, in your cell phone, and share this via Wi-Fi to the YoloBox and have bonding across 2 networks. Not 4, but 2. And it's a start, and it's in beta right now. So YoloLive is working on bringing that capability, bringing that reliability to the YoloBox products. And you always have to start somewhere, just like we were talking about business. You have to do something and then grow it, refine it, update it, and make it better. Also include the Ethernet, grow it outside of the United States, make it available on more of the products. That's how you make these things reliable. You can't just like throw it all out there on all of them, because you will not have found all the bugs at first. Excuse me. How would I compare them? I have not been able to thoroughly test the bonding on the YoloBox as of yet. I have used this several times on big events, but I have not had the opportunity to use the YoloBox bonding as of yet. The people who have used it, I have not heard major complaints or major "it does not work" responses. So I'm going to leave that open as generally positive on the YoloBox solution, but a lot of people are also asking for Ethernet in and available in more countries, because right now it's limited to US only. So that is currently the situation with regards to the YoloBox Pro bonding. 2 different internet connections, only on the Pro, only in the United States. Currently in beta, which means it's free, but because it takes engineering to put it into the YoloBox, to figure it all out, and you have to have computers and services on the receiving end to take those packets in, rearrange the order, put them all back together, and then send them off to where they got to go. That costs money. To have that computer there, to program that computer there, to power the computer, to cool the computer, all that costs money. So bonding has to become part of a paid service, just because everywhere else it's part of a paid service, except with the KiloView. The bonding receipt or the debonding is not part of a paid service, because they offer the software for free, and you have to put it on your computer, wherever your computer is, and you have to administer it, you have to power it, you have to cool it, and you have to connect it to the internet. You have to pay for all that. So, I mean, technically you're still paying. It's just that you may already have that computer connected to the internet that you could utilize. And so it's not an additional cost. But yes, it always costs. Let's keep going on. Oops. Let's keep going down the lists. Sam Robinson says, I started doing shorts and want to grow my travel vlog at restaurants. Travel vlogs are very hot these days, especially if you're on Instagram, in which case maybe the vertical Instream might be a good idea for that. Video Stream says, writing in from Austin, Texas. Chris Carson chimes in and says, I run live events around the US mostly with iPhones, and he loves the flexibility of mobile streaming. Yes, there are multiple ways of streaming. There are multiple solutions out there. And several of them are completely iPhone based, whether it be Switcher Studio, Teradek, AirMix. Mevo has a solution out with their own Mevo cameras, and there's Cinemaker, and there's Top Director? I think it's Top Director. I mean, there's multiple iPad solutions. Don Hunk says, hello from Berlin, Germany. Guten Tag. It never gets old. Greetings from Shoreview, Minnesota. A little cold up there today, I think. Needed in Kenya. Yes. I don't know what resellers there are, but possibly it may be able to be ordered from B&H because I know they do ship internationally. Samuel Robinson says he streams to YouTube and Instagram. Here's a question for you, Samuel. Do you use two different tools to switch to stream to the two different places, or do you use horizontal streaming in Instagram? Video Streams chimes in and says they do church live streaming, and faith-based streaming is huge. It's not limited to any country, any nationality. Doesn't matter if it's Christian or Baptists or Jewish or whatever. Spreading the word is something that a lot of it's the mission of that church, of that organization, to spread the word, and streaming is a great way to do it because people can watch it for free. I mean, aside from the internet connection, but people can watch it for free. They can hear it. They can become involved with your organization. And that is a lot of people do that. Dong Hunk says he's got no streaming business yet. Well, we need to work on that. Jules from New York City. I'm one of the producers for the first American Hungarian television program on Manhattan Cable, airing every Sunday. We occasionally live stream our program coverage to Facebook and YouTube. And that's a great way to do it too, because if you are involved with a community organization, usually there are dedicated people who want to spread that message, who want to get the word out, who want to spread awareness of the culture, of the activity, of the interest. And using a tool like the YoloBox, using streaming is a way to make that more available to people. The other half of that is you can put it out there, you can put it on YouTube, but how do you get viewers? I can give you a couple ways that I always recommend to get viewers, but I'd love people to chime in the comments the best ways they found to grow their viewership. But let's just say we're talking about this first American Hungarian television program on Manhattan Cable. You have probably a large group of people in Manhattan who would be interested in this program. What if everybody who was watching it or involved in it shared it on their personal Facebook and Instagram page? All of a sudden, that amplifies the awareness of this program, of this streaming content. That is a great way to explode viewership by taking those people who are involved in the program, who have a vested interest in that content, to share it out. Also works with, church and faith-based programming too. If you have everyone involved in that live stream, in that program, share it on their personal page. Or take the link that was shared on the church's page and just forward it along. Comment on it. That's going to put that video in front of thousands more people. It's your content, remember. That's going to get you seen, and it's going to get your content seen, and it's a win-win again. Williams from the Dominican Republic. Thank you, chiming in from the Dominican Republic. Here's a technical question. When is the YOLO Max going to have an update? Why do the YOLOs come with a defect on the output audio? If the vertical is almost the same, then why doesn't it have the same format? That's three really big questions. When is the YOLO Max going to have an update? The YOLO Max sort of just came out. I don't know when the YOLO Max is going to have an update. Again, I am an independent producer in Dallas, Texas. I am not on the engineering team in China. I am in Texas. Why do the YOLOs come with a defect on the output audio? You let me know if you hear this defect on my output audio. If the vertical is almost the same, why doesn't it have the same format? They're not almost the same. One's horizontal, one's vertical. These are not the same. Also, the horizontal producing device, the YoloBox, has all the titles that are 1920 across and 1080 tall. The vertical device has all the titles 1080 across and 1920 tall. You have to change the entire everything. Every single element has to be changed in terms of it can't go 1920 across. It has to be told you only have this much to go across and you have this much to go high. It's very, very different. I actually have one here. So this interface over here is very, very different. And if I bring up the audio mixer is formatted to make use of the fact that I have vertical video in the Instream. It's not just, oh, I'm doing vertical on a horizontal device. No. This device only boots up vertical. It only does vertical. The destinations are only vertical. It doesn't, you can bring in horizontal video like this camera right here. This is a webcam that I have rotated. This right here, this green one, is this camera that I'm talking to, the same exact camera, but fed into the Instream. So you can see this device right here, it comes in sideways. So you have to kind of make this vertical, which you can do now with the rotate 90 degrees, and then you can crop in, let's scale that down. Like that. As I fit the screen, I say done. And now I have a vertical input right here, but it takes a bit of doing to make a horizontal video into a usable vertical video. They're not the same thing. I have to rotate it, I have to crop it, I have to resize it. There's a lot being done to make that work. So they're not the same thing. They're two different tools. One is a wrench, one is a pair of pliers. They do two different things. Let's go back to this. Will URL overlays stay free without a YoloCast plan? I believe they will, because that's not really a processing thing. YoloCast is YOLO Live's content delivery service, and it offers so much in terms of 15 destinations, automatically live editing your video. You can do, what was the other thing? Embedding. You can do closed captioning. You can have comments. There's so much that it does. Plus, because it is your own content delivery network, it's not like Facebook where the instant it finds a piece of music that it doesn't like, it's just going to chop your stream off. It's yours, and you can embed it on your website. So if you have a church and you want to have it on your website and you don't want to have a bunch of ads for other stuff pop up afterwards, you want your own content delivery network. So there's a lot that it offers that is worth paying for. Probably also the bonding and the ASP, which is right here. That is the laptop. Go here. The Ardent Streaming Protocol, which is another way that YOLO Live has made it to make these things even more bulletproof, is that it caches on the YoloBox for like a minute, and then it goes into a data cache on the cloud, and your internet could just bottom out completely for 15 seconds. But it's still playing from the cache that's on the cloud. And then when your internet comes back, it then sends a whole bunch more data to fill up that cache. So there's a lot of things going on. And those things, I believe, are going to be part of the paid tiers, because those are very valuable to the people who really want the best reliability. But in terms of URL overlays and also like the sports overlays that are built into the YoloCast, let me go back over here and go to the laptop again. You've got these URL overlays over here, and you've got built-in overlays. All these different sporting things that are all built in. These are free. You can sign up for a YoloCast account and not pay anything. I know up here it says 40% off for all YoloCast plans, but if you let your initial trial expire, these things continue to be available. So that is one of the nice things with the YoloCast. Da-da-dum. Marton Vlad Andreas. I hope I got that right. Animal porno. Nest webcams, wildlife rescue education. That's actually really cool. When I lived up in Pennsylvania, I actually did a video for a bird rescue that would do falcons up in Pennsylvania. The unknown latest from India. Good to see you chiming in from India. Gigi Rivera is in Pennsylvania. Yes, it's where I grew up. Jan Doward Catolico is watching from the Philippines and apparently holding a high 8 camera. Samuel F. Robinson says he's on YouTube at Samuel F. Robinson. Awesome. We got somebody's chiming in from Ohio and Carrollton, Texas. Ooh, we got a lot of people in Texas watching today. That's all cool. Samuel F. Robinson asks, what are the sites? We have to clarify what sites. There's a lot of, I'm talking about a lot of different things. Ben Beckner says, I'm in rural northeast Colorado, probably going to get hammered with snow today. I stream lots of funerals, weddings, and community events. I run my business as a side hustle. I am a pastor and stream our services, and that's how I got started in this. And that is a very natural way. I know a lot of people who get started streaming themselves, who do crafts, who do training, who do teaching, who are speakers, and they want to do additional content. And the YoloBox is great for that. Like, it's got this auto switch capability. So I could set up this camera, I could set up a couple cameras, or a DJ. You know, a DJ wants to sit here, I'm just going to mix with my hands. Well, my hands are busy, so I can have the YoloBox automatically switch between this front view and an overhead view looking down, and a side view, and then maybe capture of the screen showing the tracks that I'm playing and things like that. The YoloBox is a great way to get started, and then as you grow, as you let people know what you're doing and they see what you're doing, and you share links to what you're doing on your personal pages when you're talking with people, that's a great way to build awareness of your services. And then you become known as the streaming guy or girl, the streaming person. And by being that person, you can have marketing people reach out to you and say, hey, yeah, we wanted to do something. We're having this weekend event and we want to do some live streaming, and we hear streaming. So they bring you in for that. Is this can be used in green material? I'm guessing you're asking about green screen, and the answer is yes, because this is what my studio actually looks like. So this is just a big green drape that I have here, and with the YoloBox, that's it. I'm actually not in a cafe, and these people haven't moved the entire half hour we have been talking. I would have hoped they would have ordered and sat down by now, but they have not. But it's a nice blurred background that I like. This is a casual show. We're talking about things. We're having a conversation, and so I thought this is a nice background. If you watch the tutorial videos, they use a different background because those are more formal explanation type things. Oh, and can this be used to remove green screen material? Yes, and the green screen can be removed on the Pro from all 3 cameras. And the Mini can do green screen as well. So the Mini only has 1, 2 if you use the USB, but each of those can remove the green screen. So you can have 3 different camera views, each with a different background. Pretty slick. Itfairland says, I'm the news video teacher at a local high school, and my students are using this to do their morning newscast to YouTube and streaming the sports teams' games. They love it. Yes. I actually just helped out a local high school. They are doing sports, and they just wanted something where they could put commentary over it because their school has been outfitted with, I forget the tool now. It's right there. But it's this camera that automatically follows the basketball game, but it doesn't provide any sound. All you get is like natural sound. There's no talking about who made the score or anything like that. So they're going to pull down that feed from the school's website, bring it from using a laptop, bring the laptop video into the YoloBox. The two guys are going to sit there and they're going to say, hey, yeah, that was Janet, and Janet just made 2 points. She's been playing really well this year. She got off an injury, 3 weeks ago, but she has just been playing super hot, and they're providing that commentary that really helps you get involved in the game and the players in the game. And then they stream that out on their webpage, which helps them build business. What is your bit rate and upload speed right now? Storygum is watching from I don't know where, but my bit rate is 41 or 3884. Wait, 4134. Wait for it. 3893, 30 frames per second, and I have a 20 megabit up here at my home studio. So I'm doing 4 megabits about, and I'm using constant bit rate, which is the default and preferred, it says in the list. So that's what I'm doing with that. Cliff says, hello from the San Francisco Bay Area. Hello, everyone. And if you haven't already chimed in, if you chimed in a little bit or you joined us a little bit late, please tell me where you're viewing from. And today's topic is how you got involved with live streaming and what type of streaming do you do? Whether it be with the YoloBox or other tools. We're talking about the business of live streaming and how you got started and how you make money and things like that. My name is Anthony Barocas. I am here for YOLO Live, and I'll go through the standard things because it's been a half hour. We are broadcasting live on the YOLO Live Tech channel. If you haven't been to the YouTube side, there's a ton of content on the YOLO Live Tech channel. There's tutorials on the YoloBoxes, there's tutorials on the Instream, there's tutorials for the YoloCast service or the content delivery network. So you can quickly get up to speed on all sorts of technical aspects with each of these tools very easily. If you are watching on YouTube and haven't joined already, there is a fantastic Facebook group called the Official YOLO Live User Group. One of the best things about this is not only are a lot of people in it, just like most user groups, they help each other out and everything, but the YOLO Live team are also involved in this group. There's been a couple questions lately from YOLO Live itself about new features and new capabilities, like what would we look for in bonding? What type of bonding capabilities do you want to see in the YoloBox? So they're really asking end users. They're not just building it and saying go figure it out. They're saying what would be really useful to you? What would be the best way to implement this? And you don't see that in a lot of companies where they ask before just throwing stuff out there. And lastly, if you have a technical problem, the support@yololive.com is the email to send your technical questions directly to the company. I am not the company. I can help answer some questions, but I am not their technical support person. Let's continue on. Jill T says, Jerusalem. My first Jerusalem. Thank you very much for chiming in. Shalom, if that works for you. Watching from Philadelphia, my hometown. Eagles almost had it. Almost had it. But we're definitely outplayed in the second half. Norway is watching. Thank you very much, Tom, for watching from Norway. And Eric from the Pacific Northwest. Thanks for chiming back in. Be streaming live dance events, but concerned about copyright strikes. Options for private, occasional use, server. Too expensive. YoloCast? I'm just saying that's what it's for, because with dance recitals, it's all commercial music. And YouTube will let it exist. I mean, I've done dance recitals, and on this YouTube channel, I do have dance recital content, and it has all been flagged, and the audio has been muted in certain countries because of copyright issues, and that's just what you're going to deal with. And I can't have it monetized because it has somebody else's commercial music. So it exists, but it's not monetized, and it's also not audible in certain countries and places, but it exists. They haven't cut it off. But in terms of being able to deliver an unfiltered experience, you would need to have your own dedicated content delivery network, whether it be YoloCast, because it's actually hooked into the the YoloBox or Boxcast or Vimeo or something like that, so that you have control over the content. You could also limit viewers, especially if you're doing a pay-per-view, to have monetization, so that, hey, you didn't make it to the concert, but if you would have paid $20 to go to the dance recital, you could pay me $10 and watch it online, which is great for grandparents or family that are across the country and can't make it to the event. That's additional revenue. So that's another thing that YoloCast does as well, is a monetization. Doc Hong says, yes, I want to build a business, which is why I regularly watch your posts. Well, I hope they're helpful. You can always reach out online. And like I says, the Business of Production Facebook group is also a good one for trying to get started and having business questions. Samuel Robinson says, I use my phone to do shorts on both, and I want to use the YoloBox. You discussed value-based pricing. Value-based pricing is pricing your services is one of those things where it's like you have to be doing something reliably before you can charge for it, which is why I say start with a community group and do some live streams and figure out where the mistakes are. You're going to hit potholes. Hit the potholes when not asking people for money, when you're doing it as a favor. That's when you hit the potholes and you make a mistake. Oh, this didn't work, but I got a recording. We'll upload that later. And once you start being able to do things reliably and you kind of get into the groove of things, it's like, wait, I kind of got this, then it's sort of like, well, now I can take the work that I've done and I've put on my website. I can use that and say, and send emails out to other local organizations. Hey, look what we're doing here. If you would like to do something similar, hit me up, send me an email. And you slowly grow it from there, and you get 2 or 3 customers. And then it's like, then you could reach out to local businesses. Hey, look what we're doing. If you've been thinking about doing some live streaming, for marketing or education, hey, this is what I'm doing. Look at my body of work. Look at my examples. It's sort of like hiring someone to work in your house. You wouldn't necessarily want to hire someone to do work in your house if you don't get references from someone else and proof that they know what they're doing. That's what you need to provide. So it's a chicken and egg, and usually I find you have to do it first so that people can see that you know how to do it. And then after that, you can start asking for money for that. David says, I'm following from Kenya. Do you have an idea when the engineering team will fix internet connectivity on the YoloBox Pro? I am suffering seriously without the ability to use Ethernet. I don't know. And I don't know if it's an Ethernet problem on YoloBox Pro or on your YoloBox Pro or your connectivity. So there's a lot of different questions going on. Again, I always say, talk directly to the mothership, talk directly through support@yololive.com. Actually, everything on this table is on Wi-Fi. So that has been very reliable for me. So reliable that I haven't felt the need to physically plug in an Ethernet cable. I mean, I actually have one right here. It's not plugged into the YoloBox. But they have just been working very, very reliably. Like I have, if you've seen, there was a post. I actually saved it up here. Let's see if I can load it back up. Waiting for it. This laptop is just being super slow today. Not that tab. Not that tab. There it is. Go to my laptop. So as you can see right here, that is sort of my desktop right now. So I have I'm going to go on this side. This is the Pro that I'm using to produce the show. This is the Pro that I'm using to demonstrate things. This is the Instream that I just used to demonstrate some Instream technology. This is a Surface tablet that I'm using to rotate the output of the Instream because it is vertical, but it comes out horizontal and I need to rotate it and stick it over by the side of the screen. And then this is the laptop that I'm using to show you this laptop. And all of this stuff is in front of me and it's all on Wi-Fi. All of it. Oh, and my phone. So reliable internet, reliable, good Wi-Fi hardware where you are is all part of the glue that makes all of this stuff works reliably. Saludos desde Mexico. Manny Pistachio Pugs. I love the name. Hey, Ben Beckners. Yeah, and by all means, everyone, feel free to talk to each other in the comments and answer each other's questions, because I really wanted today to be a dialogue from people who have been doing it, from people who are getting started, from people who haven't even tried yet. Oh, the magazine and the producer site. Sorry about that. The magazine that I referred to early on, let's go to the overhead, is Streaming Media Magazine. It's streamingmedia.com. So just streamingmedia.com. And you can sign up for a bunch of email newsletters that come out weekly, perhaps even daily. I write for this magazine, so a lot of my reviews and articles go into this magazine. And there's also a lot of content in this magazine that is meant for people who work at TV stations, and it's meant for people who work in large corporations who are, working with lots of data. So some of it is for producers, not all of it is for producers. And actually on the website, there is a specific laptop. On the website, the streaming right up here on the left here, it says streaming media producer. So when you go to streamingmedia.com, see if that works. No, see, I'm in the producer section. So when you go to streamingmedia.com, there's actually a separate section for production. So let me just go right there. So this is the streaming media right here, and then right here is streaming media. Oops, of course it draws again. Streaming media producer is right here. And then when you click on that, this is for people who do streaming media production. And this is the part of the site that I write for. So if you scroll down, you will see cloud-based streaming production in the sound of Inevidettes. There's an article I did. There's a lot of really good writers on here. And if you were to click on my name, what it would do is it would take you to my page and talk about the different articles that I've produced for the magazine. So that is the content, some of the content that is on the streamingmedia.com website. And I think it's a good resource for producers, the producer side of it. But it's also interesting reading to understand the larger scope of everything that's out there as well. Minin Rodriguez says, hi, I'm Minin from Israel. Hello from Israel. Well, I got Jerusalem and Israel. It's been a good day for the Middle East. I have been recently using the YoloBox Mini to live stream high school basketball from the baseline under the hoop, while also record footage for highlights for post on Instagram. Also do commentary. Great for one person. Yes, the Mini is like purpose built for going on top of a camera and streaming out directly, because it's got the SIM card in, or the Wi-Fi, or bonding stream, SIM card and Wi-Fi, and put that one camera in. And also, don't forget, it also has a USB. So you may have one long zoom camera plugged into the HDMI, and then you can use a webcam, put that into the shoe of the camcorder, and that could be your wide shot, and that's on USB. And then the Mini will actually power the webcam, so you don't even need an extra battery. And so you get like a 2-camera thing in the Mini. And the Mini is super small. The Mini is, if you don't know, the Mini is this big. It is this big. It has the HDMI in, USB in, HDMI out, Ethernet. There's your audio connectivity. It doesn't do the USB-C out like the Pro does. It just has a power input in. That's why it's got a picture of a battery. And then on the bottom, you've got your SIM card and your recording on the SD. And it is a great little tool. And I believe it actually also has replay. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe they did add replay to the Mini, which is also great for sports. Hungary, Domos. Yes, the Facebook stream. I had the same issue. I was doing an event this late last week. It was Friday, and the Facebook feed from the hotel kept pausing and jittering, and this was with vMix. I had vMix sending 2 streams to YouTube and Facebook, and the Facebook kept showing up with a yellow alert light. YouTube was fine, and people on the Facebook stream would comment and say the YouTube stream is looking much better. Everybody go over there. So it's not limited to a YoloBox at all, and it's not limited to today. Facebook, as much as they want streaming to be a thing, Facebook is not as reliable as YouTube or other tools in terms of doing streaming. And ciao, Antonio. Oh, wait, we gotta bring that. Ciao, Antonio. Greetings from Italy. Ciao. And here we are from India. Thank you for chiming in from India again. How internet bonding my live events? Well, the YoloBox Pro has, well, if you are chiming in from India, then this probably doesn't help you, but in the United States, you can use the bonding that's in the Pro. If you're not in the United States, you can use an external bonding encoder, which I had showed earlier in the stream from Teradek. There's other ones from LiveView. There's bonding encoders from Peplink. There's many different ways to skin a cat. There is also in the user group, Facebook user group, they talked about putting Speedify on the YoloBox Pro so that you could leverage Ethernet and Wi-Fi and cellular, and kind of utilize all 3 at the same time. People have had good and bad, sort of mixed results with that. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it seems to slow things down a little bit. So your mileage may vary, but Speedify is not that expensive to at least try out to see if it works for you. And then there is also third-party hardware like a Peplink bonding router, which will bond all data, not just video data. So there's many different ways to get there. Eric Payne says, I'm using my YoloBox Pro as a switcher only, feeding OBS for better audio control. Can I then output from OBS to YoloCast? Where is the YoloCast stream presented? Thanks all for all your great work. Yes, YoloCast is completely separate, but also tied in from the YoloBox. The YoloCast, you can stream just with RTMP like any other destination from OBS. So you can leverage everything that YoloCast offers without even owning a YoloBox. So you can push to it from any RTMP sending device like OBS. And I got this thing that's stuck in my throat. I just won't clear. And where is the YoloCast stream presented? YoloCast has an embeddable player. Now, YoloCast will also multicast it. So through YoloCast, you can send it to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Well, no, you can't send it to Instagram. I mean, LinkedIn. You can send it to Twitch. You can send it to all these different destinations. You can send it to multiple Facebook pages via RTMP, 15 different destinations. But it also has an embeddable player of its own that you can customize, and then you can put that on your web page. And that way you create a page, you put the, embed the player on it, which means knowing HTML and web stuff. And then people can go to your website, and watch it. So, you don't say what type of work, but let's say it's a basketball game. You can create a special page just for the basketball game with advertisers above and below it, and then put the game right on there. Harold Heine says, I'm in North Carolina. Yay, 2 pineapples from Hawaii. I was waiting for you to chime in. I was like, no Hawaii today? I felt bad. It's been a busy 2 weeks. Sorry I missed your lives, but caught your replays. Thank you very much. I am streaming a day-long financial conference this weekend. Totally prepared thanks to your videos. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate knowing that I have been able to help you get prepared and especially go through the 12 steps for streaming success. And, test, rehearse, and make sure you go through all those different steps. And when you get to the actual stream, take it easy, do what you can. Don't freak out when something doesn't work, because something always doesn't work. I love what YoloLive technology is doing for streaming. YoloBox Pro could be huge for many of us with bonding, ASP-enabled streams, and much more. Absolutely. Does YoloLive work as Restream? I'm going to try to parse this question a little bit. The YoloBox can push to Restream via RTMP. Does YoloCast do the same thing as Restream? Yes. It can take a single stream in and send it to multiple destinations. So I think I answered the question, or either version of the question that you might have been asking. Cliff clarifies what I had said. It says there's no replay on the Mini. Thank you very much. I will admit I don't use the Mini as much. I'm heavy into the Pro because of I have so much stuff going on my table. And when I do these shows, you can see that I will have comments over here on the right. I will have comments on the right. Excuse me. And then on the left, I will have my inputs. So I need the Pro so that I could switch inputs and also bring comments up without having to go back and forth. Whereas with the Mini, you literally have to change modes. You know, I'm either switching inputs and I can't see the comments, or I'm switching comments and I can't see the inputs. So that's one of the downsides to the Mini, is that with the limited screen real estate, the interface is slightly different. And actually it's not slightly different. Like you're looking at the Pro, see those two arrows? The interface on the Mini works like this, where you've got a row of icons at the bottom. Oops, didn't want to do that. And I could either do sources or I can do comments. You know, let's just do mixer. You know, I could do one thing or the other. I can't do both at the same time. Whereas the Pro, because of the larger screen real estate, I can have comments up at the same time as I'm able to switch between my inputs. So I will admit to using the Pro a lot more than using the Mini. So thank you for that clarification, Cliff. Why the YOLO instead of a program like Ecamm? Because it fits in my hand. This is it. This is everything. Ecamm is a great tool. Ecamm is one of, I mean, there's dozens. Literally, there are dozens. There's one video I made for YoloLive where I talk about hardware versus software switcher. And I think I just started finding every single thing that could do multi-camera live switching. And I think I had 35 different solutions to do this stuff. And I know that's not all of them. So there's lots of tools out there. Why YOLO as opposed to Ecamm? It's a tool. Ecamm is better at certain things. The YoloBox is better at other things. If I want something I can take with me, that I can put on top of a camera, that I could switch inputs and do sports scores and do live comments and mix my audio and do all that, and I can stick it in my pocket and it'll run for hours on a battery, that's this. You know, if I need this feature set, the YoloBox is better. If you need the additional capabilities of Ecamm and you want to work on a desktop environment and you have the space to do that, then Ecamm is the better tool. You know, I'm not saying that the YoloBox is perfect for everything, because it's not. I mean, there's a reason I still have a vMix kit. There's a reason I have vMix over here on my desk doing this. Wait, I'll get it right. Man, I always get this stuff backwards. This is the Instream. But this whole background and this rotated image over here with the white border around it, this is created in vMix. It's not created in the YoloBox because the YoloBox can't do this. So there's always things that a particular tool can't do. And you know, you have to match your needs with the tool. I always say, these are different tools in a toolbox. One's an adjustable wrench, one is a screwdriver, one is a hammer. If all you have is a hammer, you're going to use a hammer for everything. But if you have multiple tools, then you're better able to pick the right tool for the job. How to bond internet for my live events. I think I covered that one already. We stopped streaming to Facebook. Too many issues. Yeah. Yeah. Greetings from Germany. Guten Tag to Wolfgang. Hello. Audio is about 1 second ahead of video. Mixer board into camera. Mixer board into camera. And then camera into HDMI. YoloBox Pro used as USB-C out to OSB. How to adjust. Audio, still audio is about 1 second ahead of video. I don't know how that is the case if you are feeding audio into the camera that is bringing the video. At that point, the two become one. If you are then, I would then dual recording in the YoloBox and watch the recording. If the audio is off in the recording, then it's somewhere camera and YoloBox. If the audio matches in the YoloBox, then it's somewhere after the YoloBox where you're having that issue. From USB-C out to OSB to something else. That's where the problem is. You need to define where in all these steps, because there's many steps and something can happen at each of those stages. You need to start slicing it down. Let's do a recording, and that's going to tell us if it's before the recording or after the recording. So I can't tell you how to solve it, but I can tell you how to find it. I am not currently a YoloBox user, and I'm researching it to see if it would increase my offerings to my customers and viewers. I believe so, because it is a great little tool. To the point where I recently just went on a site survey with my YoloBox Mini. I booted it up, plugged in the Ethernet, and I did a speed test from this that I carried in my back pocket. That was really handy, and I needed to know the wired speed test because we're going to be doing a live stream with a wired solution. It's a very big hybrid event, so we're using vMix, and rather than bring the whole production kit, I brought this so I could do a speed test. And technically, this was easier than bringing my Surface, because this actually has an Ethernet port in it. My Surface does not, so that it's the Surface plus the dongle plus, and this was just easier. And it fit in my pocket. So, there's lots of different ways that these things can be usable. YoloBox Pro getting review system for Cricket live events. That I don't know. That is a very good feature request to put in terms of Cricket scoreboards. I have not looked on the YoloCast to see if there's Cricket scoring, because the YoloCast has more scoring templates. So definitely look into that. Also, you are definitely able to use third-party scoring software with the YoloBox. So if you find something out there like Tidal Blue, which has tons of sports, utilize the right tool for the job. If you need the best titling for cricket and you want your stuff to look awesome, then investing in a sports titling app program specifically to do titling, you could fully customize, you can fully get in there and do rosters and stats and scoreboards and players and all the stuff like you see on TV. That's what they're using. They're using big sports scoring software like that. And that software is available to anyone. You could purchase, Tidal Blue. Will the YoloBox Pro be updated to rotate video like the Instream? No. If not, can the Instream be updated to the upload to have no? Actually, I think that the question might be different. Will the YoloBox Pro be updated to rotate the video like the Instream? Like I am using my vMix to do this rotation. This is something the YoloBox Pro cannot do right now. Will it be updated to be able to do rotate? Possibly. The Pro can already do crop. All it's missing is that rotate. Like if I come over here and I click on this, the gear icon, you see how it has this rotate 90 degrees. The Instream has this rotate 90 degrees, but the YoloBox Pro does not. So I'm not able to take the output of the Instream and make it vertical like this in the YoloBox Pro, which is why I need to use vMix to do this. Will the Pro be upgraded or updated to offer rotate? Possibly. It already does a good amount of things, and that additional features, since it's already in the Instream, I could definitely see it coming to the Pro, but because I'm not part of the engineering team, I have no timeline on that. I need some private investors. We all kind of do, but we invest in ourselves first to prove that we can do it, and that will bring the people who see what we're doing and want what we're doing. And when we can do it reliably and they can count on us, then it becomes something you can monetize. And you can say, yes, I can do that for you. I've done it for these 5 people. I can do it for you. And this is what it costs. And don't be afraid to ask for money. Your service cost, time is money. Time is always money. Time is money, and time is money. And your time and expertise costs money. It took you time to learn this. And if they don't want to spend the time to learn this, they need to pay you money. That's the way it is. I know YoloLive is working on its HDMI out to be compatible with Atomos devices. Do you think this is also coming to the Mini? I believe that a lot of the Pro features and updates are coming to the Mini. That Frank has said that in the user group already. So I definitely think the Mini is long due for updates. But I also appreciate that Frank has stated in the group that 2023 is not going to be so much about trying to smash so many more features into there. They've listened to people who are saying that they need 50p in Europe. We want to stop the frame doubling issue. We want audio follow video to default to off and different things. We need more. We want more under the hood updates and fixes and things smoothed out and the code to be optimized. We want the YoloBox does so much. It does more than the box even says it can do, because they've been putting so many amazing features into it that weren't ever advertised. That's great, but sometimes all that additional code comes at the cost of complexity, and I think a lot of people have been sort of feeling a little bit of growing pains, and it says, listen, let's step back a little bit and let's go back through the code, optimize the code. Let's make sure this thing is really reliable, really bulletproof. Let's work on the audio metering. I'd love to see, Atomos style audio meters on the YoloBox, so I know exactly what my audio level is with a peak hold and accurate dB readings and things like that. I mean, I know I have audio, I can see the meter move, but I don't know exactly accurately to the microvolt what my audio is for real. So I think the updates are coming, but I also know that they have said that they're really going to focus on strengthening the system, making it more robust, more reliable, more bulletproof for everything that we wanted to do. And I know a lot of people in Europe want 50p as opposed to 60p because of the output issue to their hardware. There is an auto rotate on the Pro. Can individual items for each source. Jan says, I started using the YoloBox Pro last October. We have done almost 200 live streams. Hey, Jan, what type of live streams? Come on, tell us more. 200 is a lot. Is it all the same? Are you doing different clients? What type of success are you finding with it? Everybody, she's on Facebook, so if you want to hear from Jan, go to Facebook. She's on Facebook. 2 miles does not rotate. This is great. I love have conversations amongst yourselves. Yeah. Yes, you guys are talking 2 different versions of rotate. Auto switch sources is what Two Pineapples is saying, and physically rotate the input is what Mega Mod Zero is saying. I love my YoloBox Pro more than my ATEM Extreme ISO for travel vlogging. The ATEM, I have an ATEM Mini right here. I have nothing against the ATEM hardware. It is great hardware. It's a great control surface because I can switch inputs without having to look at it. I can tell you 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me do this. I can show you 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not even looking at it, because that's the nice thing about having physical buttons. You could do audio mixing on there and everything, and there's so much more capability under the hood. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't play back video. My Mini doesn't do streaming. It doesn't do titles. I can't build titles on it. You know, the YoloBox Pro is that more complete tool. It's like a Swiss Army knife. vMix is the CPU killer. Well, it's running on my Microsoft Surface Go 2 very well. And it has been running the whole time, and it has 0 issues, and frames per second, 30 frames per second, and my render time is 5 milliseconds. So I'm able to run Microsoft vMix on a Surface Go to do that rotation, and it does it just fine. So it depends on what you're using vMix to do. Eric Payne says, build it and they will come. Build it and then market it, and you could get them to come. Any word if the crop is coming to the Mini? It's even more needed for a one-cam source device. Also simplifying the setup, not installing a second cam just for the zoom view of the same scene. I hope so. And this, as I said, Frank has said that many of the Pro capabilities will be coming to the Mini. The Mini already has received the remote guest feature, which is insane in this little device. I could switch 5 remote callers in this little thing. But yes, a lot of the other features, especially I think crop is just one of those really underused features. And we talked about it like 2 lives ago or 3 lives ago, that utilizing that crop feature to be able to have this wide shot and then have another shot like this and punch into that and punch out would be fantastic. So I definitely agree with you. YoloBox Pro is a game changer for our live streams, and it's been a game changer for this show as well, because I do all of the tutorials that I've done on the YoloBox that you find on YouTube, and there's over 20 of them, are all done on the YoloBox. They're all switched and recorded on the YoloBox. All of the live shows that I do about the YoloBox are done on the YoloBox. So I use the tool to tell you about the tool. So it's not like I'm using vMix to mix a show to tell you how great the YoloBox is. If the YoloBox is the streaming tool, the multi-camera live switching with comments tool, then that's what I'm using, because everything you see in this show is being produced on the YoloBox. That's why I say at the beginning, it's powered by the YoloBox. And we've gone for 1 hour and 10 minutes. I do appreciate you all being here. I'm going to do my little sum up here at the end. Again, my name is Anthony Barocas. I'm here for YOLO Live. I'm an independent producer based in Dallas, Texas. And I produce a bunch of content on, nope, still got it wrong, YOLO Live tech page on YouTube. So if you want to find out how to use the Mini, the Pro, and the Instream, and I just did a video on the new Verticam, which is YOLO Live's pan tilt zoom camera that's vertical. I should do this, which is vertical. And I have seen a couple of people who have purchased the camera and ask how do they rotate it to be horizontal. And everyone in the group had to re-inform them that the reason it's called the Verticam is because it's vertical and it's not rotatable. But I did a video unboxing and show you how you can do the presets and everything on the Verticam. Very, very interesting little product. And if you aren't already a member, please join the official YOLO Live user group in Facebook. There's a lot of the people who are here today are in it. A lot of other people who don't come to the live shows are also in there answering questions, and the YOLO Live team are involved in the Facebook group. So they are there to answer questions and actually ask you questions to find out what you want from your YoloBox and your YoloBox Mini. It's great for feature requests and discussions and things like that. And lastly, if you have technical support questions, there's always support@yololive.com, which is where you can talk directly to the teams in China to get support for your issues. And again, if you have specific things like audio follow video, yeah, let them know that just really needs to be turned off, and 50 hertz, 50 frames per second output, the HDMI and things like that. Definitely, that is where you could, just further that, push those causes along with the rest of us. Let me just double check the comments. I think we've got everybody today. Again, I thank you all for being here. I apologize, I'm looking away a lot, but like I said, I'm actually running this show live. I'm mixing on the turntables here. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. And I do appreciate you all being here. I will be back here next week with more content. I do appreciate the discussion today about the business. I think that is a wonderful opportunity for each of us to share a little bit about making the YoloBox useful in our business and how we can make it, because these are tools, but at the same time, these can be used to generate business and become a business for us. With that, I will bid you adieu and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching.